large quantities of narcotic items were destroyed today at the Bondasi training camp here in Accra. Those date back as far as 2003 to 2016. The drugs made up comprising of Indian hemp, cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, and so on were destroyed, and that destruction is done yearly by the Narcotics Control Board. It is to alert the general public that items that are seized from drug barons are destroyed. For 2 hours, the team ensured that everything was burnt down to ashes.
Things that we are coming to burn, they are going to test them, field tests. I mean, for all of you to see that they are the original things that we seized or intercepted before we set them on fire. We cannot test all of them. Then for a week we will not even finish. But at least some of them, that these are things that we seized from the people, which we took to court. In fact, when we seize the chemicals or the drugs, we send them to Standards Authority. They confirm whether they are really narcotics, and then it is taken to court, and then the court will give an order. At the end of it, when the case is done and we are going to destroy them, Standards Authority should come and confirm they have seals. They will have to check whether the seals are not broken, and then they will test the actual quality of the drugs that are in, whether they are still the same. Then we set them on fire. Then it means we've done a very good job. We've been able to keep it safe until such time that we need to dispose of them.
I'm at the Bondasi training camp where the Narcotics Control Board have destroyed large quantities of narcotics drugs, which has been with them for the past 14 years, dating back as far as 2003 to 2016. These drugs were taken from drug dealers that have been convicted. So because if the case is called, then they can take possession of the drugs and then destroy them. And they do this every year to mark the World's Drug Day, to alert people that the drugs that they seize from these drug barons or drug baroness are not kept or auctioned. These drugs are destroyed at Bondasi training camp. Still at Bondasi training camp, I've been joined by the Deputy Executive Secretary of NACOB in the person of Mr. Michael Ado. So I know this is not new because you told me you do this every year on World Drugs Day. So can you take me through some of the items that are being destroyed here?
Today, what we are destroying, we have 20 kilograms of cocaine, we have 25 kilograms of heroin, we have 3 kilograms of methamphetamine, and we have about 5 tons of cannabis. Okay. 5 tons of cannabis. And we also have cat. Cat is another plant. It's also grown in the Eastern African countries. Okay. It has, when consumed, effects almost like that of cannabis. Okay. So those are the things that we are destroying here today.
What value not?
In Ghana, the street value for these items will be about $2 million. $2 million. Because cocaine is sold at $35,000 on the streets of Ghana. Heroin about $50,000. So when you do the multiplication, 20 kilograms of cocaine, 25 kilograms of heroin, that is about the 2 million. The cannabis is very cheap over here. I'm not even valuing that one.
Okay, you told me some of these things date as far back as 2003 to 2016. And if you do this every year, how come you still have some in your exhibition room?
We still have some because we've not finished dealing with such cases. Okay. The cases are ongoing. If we've not dealt with the cases, we will not destroy the exhibit. Okay. Crime has no expiry date. So we keep it until such time that we have totally dealt with the case. The person has gone to prison. It is not even when you go to prison that we destroy it. Sometimes some of them appeal when you appeal, the substance must be there for us to make sure that it is that substance which you traded in before judgment is given. So it is case by case basis. Some of the cases take a long time before they are disposed of. Others take a very short time, depending on the individual, the suspect. If he goes to court and he pleads guilty, it allows the judge to give his judgment early. If you plead not guilty, then you must be in the custody of the police until such time that we've been able to prove to you that you did it. Okay. At the end of it, some of them are also set free. If we don't have enough grounds to prosecute them, we release them. So that is why some of these items will have to be there, keep long until they are dealt with. Some of them that days.
When you release them, do you give it back to them or you just destroy them?
Give it back to them.
Okay.
He's claiming that maybe the thing doesn't belong to him.
Okay.
Maybe it was found in his luggage and he's saying that it doesn't belong to me. Okay. Somebody else gave it to me to pass on to somebody else. So it is a bad substance, so we need to destroy them. Those are the items that we are destroying. Okay. So some of the items, when the cases are dealt with, the judge may not give instant judgment that we should also destroy the items. Those are the items that we put together and then go back to the court that these items have been with us for a long time. The cases have been dealt with. The person is in prison, has even finished serving his prison sentence. Maybe the suspect died in the course of the trial, so we need to destroy them. And then the court will look at it and then give us order to destroy them.
As you can see behind me, the items that have been divided into 6 parts to make it burn quickly and faster is still on. My name is Patricia Gasu, Joy News, Bundasi Training Camp.
And away from burning narcotics, President Akufo-Addo says he is particularly concerned about the management of the Volta River and the impact of the spillage by the Bagre Dam by Burkina Faso, and wants the neighboring country to take steps to prevent or at least minimize the devastation caused by the spillage of the dam. The president said he is looking forward to a meeting with his Burkina Bay counterpart on how to plan and ensure that spillage of the dam is done in a constructive manner. He said this when the outgoing ambassador for Burkina Faso visited him at the Flagstaff House to bid farewell to the president after serving her mission.
We continue to look for closer and closer ties. You are our northern neighbor, so our destinies are linked. And whatever we can do to strengthen the relationship between our two countries, on our side, we're prepared to do it. I'm particularly concerned, as you know, and I told President Kabore when I was in Ouagadougou, about we're both members of the Volta Basin Authority, and I was recently in Monrovia when he was re-elected president of the authority. I was part of the meeting, and the necessity for us to work together to control the movement of the Volta and the spillage of the dam. It's extremely important for us in Ghana. And he promised that we will get a group together to look at and strengthen the measures that we need to take to make that possible. So that is something that you can take back to him from me, that I am looking forward to that meeting, looking forward to the measures that we need to take together to be able to make sure that the movement of the water from Burkina to us here in Ghana is done in the most constructive manner for us at all times. You've been a popular ambassador here. I know that, and I'm sure that we will be meeting as far as the chancellors are concerned. I agree with you. These agreements are made on paper, and they tend to stay on paper. It's time that we did something about it on your side in Ouagadougou and also on our side here. So, Madam Foreign Minister, this is an important matter that we want to do it in her honor. so that when you go back to Burkina Faso, you can say that all this happened as a result of your mission here in Ghana. We wish you the very best of luck.
President Akufo-Addo there. You're still watching The Pulse with me, Gifty and Dopia. Another quick break. I'll be right back. Please don't go away.